Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. Today's question to ask yourself is, do I honor my commitments? We all know people who make a lot of promises, and some of those people never follow through on any of their promises. And we've come to expect that anytime they say they're going to do something, we just pretty much shrug it off as if they didn't even say anything. It's because we've come to expect that word is not good for anything. And that's the weirdest thing about honoring your commitment. Whenever you fall short time and time again, it's like every time you chip away at this image of yourself, pieces are going to come off, and then it's going to get to the point where there's nothing left. And I remember a lot of the people I watched growing up who had integrity taught me that your word means a lot. And if someone cannot count on your word that you give them, then especially being a man, we're made to honor our commitments. And whenever we don't, it wreaks havoc on a household. Sometimes we don't want to say no to somebody, and that in itself is another whole topic. But when you don't say no to somebody, you always leave them hanging. They're gonna eventually come to realize you won't commit to anything, and it's gonna be just as bad in the end. You're better off just being honest with them and telling them up front, don't always jump into things that you don't want to do. Sometimes it's when our emotions get involved. That's when everything changes. We'll commit to things that we had no business committing to in the first place. And that can be challenging to get ourselves out of it, but that's where, when you say you're going to do something, then you better do it, because your reputation is on the line, and you don't want to become known as, some half-committed person, that never gets anything done. You want to be known for your integrity and your character, and being the same day in, day out, no matter what happens, being capable of being relied upon. When someone can rely on you, it really goes a long way. And this especially matters when it comes to working for somebody in a job or in a business of some sort. Whenever somebody can count on you, it makes a world of difference, and it makes you stand out far above the people that can't be counted on. And especially in times where the economy is challenging, the harder you work, the more you do what you say you're going to do, it adds value. And some of this value is not something you can learn. It's just something you have to be, and not everyone chooses to be it. So my recommendation is to honor your commitment. It may not pay off in the short run, but in the long run, it'll tell a whole story about you, and it's one that people are going to like. So honor your commitments. There's a proverb that comes to mind when I think about someone who does not keep their commitment. It says something about when you rely on your teeth. If you've ever had a broken tooth, you know how painful it is, and when you go to bite down on something, oh my gosh, the pain is just shoots through your body, and it's so horrifying. Well, that's kind of what trying to rely on somebody who is not faithful. They don't honor their commitments. When you're counting on them for something and then they fall through, there's that proverb goes on and talks about bad foot, or you can think of anything, a bad knee, or any type of pain where if you're walking along carrying something. I can think of a time when I was carrying a couch with somebody, and all of a sudden my foot fell off the sidewalk and fell into the little rough edge, and all of a sudden we almost dropped the couch because my footing wasn't stable. And that's kind of the same thing, when you're depending on something to hold you up and then it lets you down, you lose trust immediately. And when that trust is in a person, you know, it really makes a difference. And trust is one of the hardest things to keep. So that's all for now. Thanks everyone for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.